This is how I made a music video where it looks like I'm inside a graphing calculator the entire time. We didn't do it by programming graphing calculators. We never even turned a graphing calculator on. The whole thing was just done with video bullshit. So for starters, we'll look at the shot where it looks like I'm falling. The way we did that was we set up 2 stools for me to lie on in front of a green screen. Me and my collaborator, John. The reason the stools have a different color green on them is because we realized right before this shot that we did not have enough of the right kind of green screen. So I had to run out and look for any other type of green sheet. And I ended up finding green window curtains at a Dollar Tree store. So that's what we used. It was a little bit harder to edit later, but my guy was able to do it. John was able to do it. He cut everything out, so we ended up with just me horizontally. And then I ran a bunch of effects on that. First, I put an effect on it to make the motion look a little choppier. Then I ran an effect called Dither Decay. That's a plugin for Premiere Pro made by a guy named Will Cecil, or maybe Will Cecil. Will, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. He's got a website called Megakrunch. One of his plugins is called Dither Decay. It makes everything look much more low tech, and it also crashes the colors down. But to me, it didn't look low tech enough. So then I added another effect called Mosaic. Mosaic turns everything into little squares, and that was closer, but there's still too many colors. So then I removed all of the colors except the darkest. I made everything else transparent. And then it looked right to me. It took me a long time to figure out that those effects in that order would give me the graphing calculator look. That was like a huge part of the research for this video. But once I had that, some version of that is how I did all the shots of me in the calculator. Sometimes I would play with the resolution being a little higher or lower, but that's basically what we were doing. Okay, but the other thing I want to talk about is the background in the following shot. There's that building going by. I wanted to see if I could use the skyscraper from the beginning of Street Fighter II Champion Edition. That's a video game I used to play as a kid, and in the beginning, there's like the one guy punches the other guy in the face in front of a skyscraper, and I wanted to see if I could get that skyscraper. So I went to the website spritersresource.com, which is just has a bunch of assets that people have pulled out of video games, and sure enough, they had the building from Street Fighter II Champion Edition. They had that building as a JPEG. I should thank the user Shadowman44. That's the guy who uploaded it. I've never met that guy in my life. I don't know anything about him, but thank you, Shadowman44, for putting that building on the internet. Once I got that, I ran another Premiere plugin video effect on it. This one was called Pixel Encoder. It's made by the same guy who made Dither Decay. He's got a website called Megakrunch where you can get all these plugins. I used that to make the building look like that, and that's basically how we did the falling shot. Okay, then the other thing to talk about is that I have all those sort of weird landscapes in the music video. My idea for those was that I wanted to make it look like the glitchiness of the graphing calculator had seeped into the outside world. And like the world we live in is now being infected by the graphing calculator weirdness. I have no idea if anyone watching the video is going to like follow that, but to me, that's like the plot of the video. And I was inspired by the end of the sequel to Jurassic Park when they finally have the Tyrannosaurus Rex like run through a city. Like, you know, they had to do that. I'm talking about the original sequel from whenever. It was the sequel to Jurassic Park. You knew they had to just let the fucking dinosaurs run through the world. I wanted to do that move. So the back half of the video is just a bunch of weird landscapes that, to me, is like, what if the graphing calculator hacked into our life? The way I did those is that there's screen recordings of the website called NoClip. There's a website called noclip.website. That's literally what it's called. That just lets you fly around different video game landscapes. Somehow they recreated the 3D worlds of various video games, and you can just sort of fly around them in browser if you go to that website. Why did I just say in browser? That sounds so dumb. You could fly around them in your browser. So I found a bunch of places that look suburban inside one of the Grand Theft Auto games. I don't remember which one, but they have Grand Theft Auto games on this website. I found a bunch of weird suburban landscapes, and I screen recorded myself exploring those. And then I ran a glow effect. There's a Premiere plugin called Glow. I ran that just to make the colors like really happen. And then on top of that, I ran sharpen. I like over sharpened everything. That's a crucial part of the cyber attack look, is to just have everything look really sharpened. To me, that is like how I experienced growing up in the suburbs. Everything was just like really vivid and like artificially bright all the time. So I wanted that look. And then on top of that, I ran a couple more layers of Dither Decay, the glitchy plugin I was talking about before. That's how I did those. And then, you know, what else? I spent a bunch of time in front of the green screen trying to do, like, stuff that would look good on camera. And I spent, like, an hour and a half sitting on a stool doing takes of me sitting on a stool because I thought that would be good. And then we didn't use any of that. I don't remember why I committed to sitting on a stool for so long. But when I was going back through the footage, it was just like stool take after stool take. I just think it's funny that I would be doing this. You know what I mean? This next song is one I wrote so that I could sit on a stool in the music video. See, then you can do this position, which is good.